Good morning, boys and girls. And we're continuing now with the letter of this week. And I said yesterday and today, the letter of the week on the morning routines is the letter X. The letter X, since we're doing music this month, we're going to make a xylophone with the letter X. And we have all the pieces to the xylophone in different colors. And the shape is the rectangle because that's what's going to make it look on top of the X like a xylophone. And then the background will be this blue. So let's begin by cutting using our scissors, and we're going to use some glue, Elmer's glue as well, to start cutting. Now the reason why I'm using an adult scissor is because I know how to cut, and number two, I'm not a little person, I'm a big person. So I've done this before. But you need to use your own scissor. Okay? So this is how we're going to cut it, and I'm going to incline my video camera so that you can see what I'm doing. So as you know, we're going to cut on the white line, and we're going to cut, and you're going to move the paper, and the scissor stays in the same place unless we're getting to this part. Okay? So open, close, and that's how you make that X look like an X there. Open, close, open, close, open, close. So as long as you're on the outside, you can actually manage this paper. And you're going to open, close, and then when you get to this part, you just go over here and cut it this way. Those are different strategies for you to cut instead of trying to cut this way, which is what you would do. Alright, so I have here that this X was not traced correctly, but that's fine. Nothing has to be perfect. But we have here scrap paper that we can use later to make holes for the xylophone, or circles, I should say. Alright, so here's my X. Alright, and now I'm going to glue my X. So why am I going to glue it first? Well, because all of these are rectangles that are going to go on top of the X. So I'm going to use my blue paper. I'm going to move a little bit my camera so that you can see how this is going to go. So this is the X that I cut it, and I'm going to flip it over. Or you know what? I'm going to glue the part that looks white on the outside and then hide it with the opposite. So when you press your glue, don't press it hard, press it soft, suave. Do not press it hard, no lo aprietes duro, ¿ok? Porque vas a ver mucho pegamento y no vas a saber controlar. So you're not going to have a good control over your glue if you press it too hard, because you're going to make blobs of glue. Okay? This is very important that you follow this, because when you make a mess, you don't know what to do, and what you're going to end up doing is doing something wrong. So I put all the glue on the letter X, and I'm going to carefully take my letter X on the opposite direction and see if I can fit it in the middle. And if you see some glue like I see here, I don't worry about it. Why? Because most likely when I start putting the rectangles, it'll be the part that's going to cover. Okay? So the first one is a long red rectangle. So I'm going to cut it on the long side first. Open, close, open, close, open, close. On the side, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, and open, close. So that's my first one. And since I already have this glue here, guess what I did? I pasted the glue right on top. I pasted the rectangle right on top. And what I did is just bend over a little bit of that. Because when you start learning how to glue and cut, then you start getting better on what is it that looks right and what looks wrong, right? So now I have that, and in your Ziploc you should have some circles, okay? And those circles, you just put a little dot of glue like that, and you put it like it looks like a xylophone, because these little circles are the ones that hold the color, all right? And there goes the other side. Now it's beginning to look like a xylophone, right? If you have extra glue, just rub it off. I'm going to continue with the next long rectangle, which is the orange. And I'm going to cut it. And I have my rectangle. And I'm going to cut the other ones as well, because I have yellow. And the reason why you can cut all of the rectangles is because when you finish, it's easier to paste, right? Because you won't be cutting and pasting what I did on the first one. I did the first one that way so that you can see it. So here comes a more smaller version of the xylophone piece. Okay, and then the light blue one should be the small one. Alright, so now I can start pasting. So I'm going to paste this with glue. And the reason why I want to make it in glue is because glue sticks it faster than paste. And I want to make sure that it's in good conditions. Now I'm going to do the yellow one. And you go in circles. You don't have to squeeze it hard. Squeezing it hard is not the best, because you can make a blob. And then we're going to do the green one. Okay. And here's that one. And the last but not least is the blue. I should say light blue, because the blue is the background of the xylophone here. Alright, and so this should look like that. Now, the last piece of this should be all of the circles in black. You can make them with a hole puncher and then be able to paste them. And you just put a little dot of glue and make it look like it's screwed in there, right? So that it looks like it. Doesn't have to be exactly, but you can make it look like it. Sometimes the glue will cooperate with you and it'll make the dot and hold on to the circle. That's even better for you, right? And I'm going to take these two here because you don't see it in the camera, but there's extra circles here that you don't see. They're in the black because it blends with the black of the letter X. All right. And now I'm down to the last two circles. So what you want to do is once you finish, you should always write your name. You can write it on the bottom. You can write it on the top. Whatever you feel like. And this is the letter X as a xylophone. This is what you need to make today. When you finish, there's two pictures you need to send. A picture of somebody taking a picture of you cutting the letter X or one of the rectangles, and another one with the finished product of the letter X looking like a xylophone. All right? And remember, smart is not something you are. Smart is something you get.